Om Sai Ram. Sri Sai Sacharita, Chapter 14. Ratanji Wadia of Nanded, Saint Mauli Sahib, Dakshina Mimamsa. In the last chapter, we described how Baba's word and grace cured many incurable diseases. Now we shall describe how Baba blessed Mr. Ratanji Wadia and gave him an issue. The life of this saint is naturally sweet. His various doings, eating, walking, and his natural sayings are also sweet. His life is bliss incarnate. Sai gave the bliss to his devotees as a means of remembrance. He gave them various stories of duty and action which ultimately led them to true religion. His object may be that people should live happily in this world, but they should be ever cautious and achieve the objective of their life, self-realization. We get human body as a result of merits in the past birth, and it is worthwhile that with the aid of this body, we should attain devotion and liberation in this life. So we should never be lazy but always be on alert to gain our goal of life. If you hear the Leelas of Sai daily, you will always see him. Day and night you will remember him in your mind. When you assimilate Sai in this way, your mind will lose its fickleness, and if you go on in this manner, it will finally be merged in pure consciousness. Ratanji of Nanded. Now let us come to the main story of this chapter. In Nanded in the Nizam state, there lived a Parsi milk contractor and trader by the name Ratanji Shapurji Wadia. He had amassed a large amount of money and had acquired fields and lands. He had cattle, horses, conveyance, and was very prosperous. In all outward appearance, he looked very happy and contented, but inwardly, he was not so. Providential dispensation is that such no one in this world is completely happy, and the rich Ratanji had no exception in this. He was liberal and charitable, gave food and clothing to the poor, helped all in various ways. The people took him to be a good and happy man, but Ratanji thought himself to be miserable as he had no issue, male or female, for a very long time. Just as Kirtan, that is singing the glories of the Lord without love or devotion, a song without rhythmical accompaniments, a Brahmin without a sacred thread, proficiency in all arts without common sense, pilgrimage without repentance, and ornamentation without necklace are futile unless so is the householder without an issue. Ratanji always brooded on this matter and said in his mind, "Would God be ever pleased to grant me a son?" He thus looked morose and did not relish his food. Day and night he was enveloped with anxiety as to whether he would ever be blessed with a son. He had a great regard for Dasganu Maharaj. He saw him and opened his heart before him. Dasganu advised him to go to Shirdi, take Baba's darshan, fall at his feet and seek his blessings and pray for an issue. Ratanji liked the idea and decided to go to Shirdi. After some days, he went to Shirdi, took Baba's darshan and fell at his feet. Then, opening a basket, he took out a beautiful garland of flowers and placed it around Baba's neck and offered him a basket of fruits. With reverence, he sat near Baba and prayed to him, saying, "Many persons who find themselves in difficult situations come to you, and you relieve them immediately. Hearing this, I have anxiously sought your feet. Please do not disappoint me." Sai Baba then asked him for dakshina of ₹5, which Ratanji intended to give, but added that he had already received 3.14 from him and that he should pay the balance only. Hearing this, Ratanji was rather puzzled. He could not make out as to what Baba meant. This was the first time he thought he had come to Shirdi. Then how was it that Baba said he had already earlier got 3.14 from him? He could not solve the riddle. But he sat at Baba's feet and gave the balance of the dakshina and asked for his blessings. Baba explained why he came and sought his help and prayed to Baba that Baba should bless him with a son. Baba was moved and told him not to worry, and then onward his bad days have come to an end, and then gave him Udi, placed his hand on his head by saying Allah would satisfy his heart's desire. Then after taking Baba's leave, Ratanji returned to Nanded and told Dasganu everything that took place at Shirdi. He said that everything went on very well and that he got Baba's darshan and blessing with prasad, but there was one thing which he could not understand. Baba said to him that he had already got rupees 3.14 before. Please explain as to what Baba meant by these remarks. He said to Dasganu, "I never went to Shirdi before, then how could I give him the sum to which Baba referred?" to this, Dashganu too was very puzzled. He thought much more over it over a long time. Sometime afterward, it struck him that Ratanji had received some days ago a Mohammedan saint by the name Maulvi Sahib in his house and had spent some money for his reception. This Mauli Sahib was a well-known saint of Nanded and worked as a porter. When Ratanji decided to go to Shirdi, this Mauli Sahib turned up at Ratanji's house. Ratanji knew him and loved him, so he gave him a small party in his honor. Dasganu got from Ratanji the yadi or the memo of expenses of this reception, and everybody was wonderstruck to see that the expenses amounted exactly rupees 3.14, nothing more, nothing less. They all came to know that Baba was omniscient, that though he lived in Shirdi, he knew what happened outside, far away from Shirdi. In fact, he knew the past, the present, the future, could identify himself with anybody. In this particular instance, how could he know the reception given to Mauli Sahib and the amount spent therefore, unless he could identify himself in that him and be one with him? Ratanji was satisfied with this explanation and his faith in Baba was confirmed and increased. In due time, he was blessed with a son and his joy knew no bounds. It is said that he had almost a dozen issues, out of which only 4 survived. In the footnote towards the end of this chapter, it is stated that Baba told Rao Bahadur Hari Vinayak Sate after the death of his first wife to remarry and that he would get a son. R.B. Sate married second time. The first 2 issues by his wife were daughters and he therefore felt very despondent. But the third issue was a son. Baba's word did come true and he was satisfied. Dakshina Mimamsa. Now we shall close this chapter in a few points about Dakshina. It is well known fact that Baba always asked from Dakshina from people who went to see him. Somebody may ask a question: if Baba was a fakir and perfectly non-attached, why should he ask for Dakshina and care for money? We shall consider this question broadly now. First, for a long time, Baba did not take anything. He stored burned matches and filled his pockets with them. He never asked anything from anybody, whether he be a devotee or otherwise. If anybody placed before him a paisa or two, he purchased oil or tobacco. He was fond of tobacco, for he always smoked bidi or chilla. Then some persons thought that they should go to the saint, then they should never go empty-handed and therefore place some copper coins before Baba. If a paisa was placed before him, he used to pocket it, and if it was 2 coin, it was returned immediately. Then after Baba's fame had spread far and wide, people began to flock in numbers and Baba began to ask Dakshina from them. It is said in the Shruti, that is Veda, that puja of God is not complete unless a golden coin was offered. If a coin was necessary in the puja of gods, then why should it not be in the puja of the saints also? Ultimately, the Shastras laid down that when one goes to see God, king, saint or guru, he should not go empty-handed. We should offer something, preferably money. In this connection, we may notice the precepts recommended by the Upanishad. The Brihadanayak Upanishad says that Lord Prajapati advised gods, men and demons by one letter Da. The gods understood this letter and they started practicing Dhamma, that is self-control. Men thought and understood that it should practice Dhana, that is Dana, charity. The demons understood that they should practice Daya, that is compassion. To men, charity or giving was recommended. The teacher in the Taittiriya Upanishad exhorts his pupils to practice charity and other virtues. Regarding charity, he says, give with faith or even without, give it with magnanimity, liberally, give with modesty, awe and sympathy. In order to teach devotees a lesson of charity and to remove their attachment to money and thus to purify their mind, Baba extracted Dakshina from them, but there was this peculiarity, as Baba said, that he would have to give back 100 times more of what he had received. There are many instances in which this has happened. To quote an instance, Mr. Ganpatrao Bodas, a famous actor, says in his Marathi autobiography that on Baba's pressing him often for Dakshina, he emptied his money bag before him. The result of this was, Mr. Bodas said, that in the later life, he never lacked money as it came to him abundantly. There was also a secondary meaning to Dakshina. In many cases in which Baba did not want any pecuniary amount, To quote two instances, the first one, Baba asked rupees 15 as dakshina from Professor Gigi Narke, who replied that he did not have even a pipe. Then Baba said, I know you have no money, but you can do the reading of Yoga Vashishta. Give me dakshina from that. Giving dakshina in this case meant deriving lessons from the book and lodging them in the heart, where Baba resides. In the second case, Baba asked a certain lady, Mrs. R.A. Tharkad, to give rupees 6 as dakshina. The lady felt pain as she had nothing to give. Then her husband explained to her that Baba wanted her to surrender the inner enemies, the lust, the anger, the avarice, etc., and that to be surrendered at Baba means the explanation was given. This is to be noted that though Baba collected a lot of money by dakshina, he would distribute the whole amount the same day and the next morning he would become a poor fakir as usual. When Baba took Mahasamadhi, even after receiving thousands and thousands of rupees as dakshina, for about 10 years, he had only a few rupees in his possession. In short, Baba's main object of taking dakshina from his devotees was to teach them the lesson of renunciation and purification. Postscript: Mr. B.V. Dev of Thane, retired Mamlatdar, and a great devotee of Sai Baba, had written in an article on this subject dakshina in Sri Sai Leela magazine, volume 2, p. 6.26, in which he says as follows: Baba did not ask dakshina from all. If some gave dakshina unasked, he sometimes accepted it and other times refused it. He asked for it from certain devotees only. He never demanded it from those devotees who thought their minds Baba should ask for it and that they should pay. If anybody offered it against his wish, Baba never touched it but kept it aside. He asked him to take away, and he asks from small and big amounts from all devotees according to their wish, devotion, and convenience. He asked it even from women and children. He never asked from only rich or only poor. Baba never got angry with those from whom he asked dakshina and who could not give him. If any dakshina was sent to some friend who forgot to hand over the same to Baba, he reminded him of it and made him pay it. On some occasions, Baba used to return the sum amount and keep some to be tendered as dakshina, and as a donor is to guard and keep it in his shrine of worship. This procedure benefited the donor and the devotee immensely. If anybody offered more than he originally intended to give, Baba returned the extra amount. Sometimes he asked more dakshina from some than what they originally intended to give, and if they had no money, asked them to beg or borrow from others. From some he demanded dakshina 3 or 4 times a day. Out of the amount collected as dakshina, Baba spent very little for his own sake, for buying chillam, that is a smoking pipe, and fuel for his duni, the sacred fire. And all the rest he distributed as charity in varying portions to various persons. All the paraphernalia of the Shirdi Sansthan was brought by other rich devotees at the instance and suggestion of Radha Krishna Mai. Baba always used to get wild and scolded those who brought any costly and rich article. He said to Mr. Nanasaheb Chandorkar that all his property consisted of only one kopeen and one stray piece of cloth, one kafni and one tumbler. That's all. All the people troubled him by bringing all those unnecessary costly articles. Women and wealth are two main obstacles in the way of our Paramatma, that is the spiritual life. And Baba had proved in Shirdi 2 institutions, one Dakshina and the other Radha Krishna Mai. So whenever they came to him, he demanded Dakshina from them and asked them to go to the school of Radha Krishna Mai's house. If they stood their true test, and if they did that and showed that they were free from attachment for woman and wealth, their progress in spirituality was rapid and assured by Baba's grace and blessing. Mr. Dev has also quoted passages from the Gita and Upanishads and shown that charity given in holy places or to holy personages conduces to the donor's welfare. What is more holy than Shirdi and its presiding deity Sai Baba? Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.